What's going on, winners? Your boy Loso 2.0, and today we're talking about domination, dominating in every single thing that you do. Now, before I get started with that, click that subscribe button below and subscribe to the Winners Win channel. But yes, domination. So, first, I want to talk about what domination really is about. Domination really is all about strategy and mindset. Domination, see, being good in whatever your field is, whatever your sport is, whether you play in, let's say, basketball, playing football, maybe you playing soccer, maybe your field is sales, maybe your field is technology, maybe your field is medical, whatever it is, you want to dominate in this field. Now, to be able to dominate in this field, like I said, it's going to take strategy and mindset. Mindset being the most important, and then of course using strategy. But you can only get so far with strategy if you don't have any type of mindset. Okay, so what is domination about? Domination to me is about being unforgettable. So I remember my old mentor was once telling me before too, as well, that life, if you want to be either ordinary or extraordinary. Extraordinary makes you immortal. Now, what does that mean? Your physical body will die out. Like, we all pass away at a certain age. I think the average age is like 80 years old when we do pass away, right? But when you're dominating, when you dominate in your field, you will be forever remembered. Your memory lives on and on and on in other people, and that's what makes you immortal. Examples of this in my field, the public speaking field, with me trying to dominate this field, Martin Luther King, we still talk about him. Malcolm X, we still talk about him to this day. Like, we still are talking about a couple of these guys to this day right now in this field. They became unforgettable because they dominated. When it came to sports, Kobe, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Tom Brady. I know I'm naming like football, basketball, because it's the only ones I know like that pretty much. Sugar Ray Leonard, in boxing, Muhammad Ali. Like, these guys are dominant. They dominate, so they made themselves unforgettable. I'm first going to start with setting high standards. I'm going to tell you a little story about this. So, as you know, that I talked to you guys about before, my my company that I work for was the #1 retailer in the month of October. Now, being as though we were #1 retailer, a lot of people would think, oh, snap, great job, try to congratulate, da-da-da. We did congratulate, we did get a little stuff done, but I seen it now, it's not time to congratulate. I seen it now, it's time to put the foot more on the pedal, on the gas, because a lot of times you can get comfortable. See, me, I don't know what's worse to me, never getting what you want or getting a taste of it and then you ended up getting back to it. See, me, I know what it was like to be poor. I know what it's like to be the worst. I know what it's like to do all these certain things, so I don't want to go back to that. So with that fear going back to that, because you gotta have a little bit of fear in there, but you know, God always is with me, that pushes me in order to want to dominate in whatever my field is too as well. So set yourself with high standards. Don't let anybody try to put your standards over, make your standards lackadaisical for nobody. And you have to show up every single day too as well. You can't dominate in anything and you're taking days off, because the time that you're taking off, there's probably someone else over there. See, the time I'm not posting a YouTube video at least once a week, the time I'm not posting my content, there's other motivational speakers probably over there posting every single day, posting, getting engagement, getting the followers, growing their business. And I'm over here still, being lackadaisical. No, I have to show up every single day. You must show up every single day if you want to be successful in your field. You want to be a great basketball player. Again, I know I keep going back to sports. You have to show up. You have to go to the gym every day and get shots. We got to do something to make yourself a better basketball player every single day. You want to be better in sales. You need to be practicing. You need to be reading sales books. You need to be role playing every single day. Show up every single day. And then when you're showing up, you need to learn to master the basics. See, a lot of times, and a good example is this, right? And I'll go back to sports because a lot of times in sports. So a lot of times you see guys going to the gym. Let's say guys going to the gym and they about to go hoop. A lot of times guys will go out there and start shooting threes immediately. Me, I like to start right in front of the rim. Just shoot in front of the rim, shoot in front of the rim. And I learned that from, a great shooter too as well, that I knew growing up. He would just start with the basics, just shoot in front of the rim. Steph Curry shoots in front of the rim and just works his way back out too as well. So master the basics. Then when you master the basics, then you can start innovating and start creating your own stuff. But you will never know that if you don't do the basic stuff. And I think it was a story where JJ Redick was talking about when he witnessed Kobe Bryant's workout routine. First of all, he's seen like Kobe Bryant working out, and it was like all this basic stuff that you learn probably like in 5th grade or like as a little kid about how to play basketball. And he was doing all that stuff, but he mastered it. And then now he's hitting all these game winners, able to do all these spin moves because he mastered the basics of basketball. Another thing is attention to detail. Again, going back to the late Kobe Bryant, when he asked JJ Redick to go get shots up with him, and when he was seeing JJ Redick get shots up, he wasn't paying attention to, like, he was just looking at him and staring at him and letting him work out. He thought he was just there, just chilling. He was actually paying attention to how his footwork was looking, how his form was looking, where he was releasing it, all this stuff that was paying attention to detail. You have to be very close attention to detail. And I understand where you're coming from, because as a person that struggles with attention to detail, I'm telling you, it's not the easiest thing in the world. But you have to be very, very like intention oriented detail, because every little thing, one little slip up, it could mess up your whole thing. Or you do that one little thing right, you end up doing great. And this again reminds me of my business too, or like my work too. When the reps are working, I just had a conversation with one of these stores. I told them, listen, your store is not the busiest store in the company. I'll be honest with you. It's also not the slowest store in the company. But I will tell you this. The fact that your store is so slow, you cannot afford to not be perfect. You want to be as close to perfect as you can be. Why? Because you never know you're going to see that next customer. So you want to make sure that you're building a quote. You want to make sure that you're pitching everything you can. You want to make sure that you're doing everything that you can, because you never know you're going to see that next customer. So attention to detail is very, very, very important. Another part is always learning. Be an open book. Always learning. I mean, me, I just finished paying off the speaker lab course. I'm finally excited about that. Paid off early. That's definitely an achievement of mine. But I'm learning that from there. I'm about to get my reading in right now, probably like an hour reading today. Knock out my reading in the book. Watching YouTube videos, listening to my motivational videos in the morning, getting all that stuff to kind of get me all started for the day. I'm doing all that stuff every single day. So always learning, always being a sponge to it. That's the only way that you're going to be greater. An example is Anthony Edwards. He went to go play in the Olympics over the summer, and they were asking him what was the biggest thing he's learning. He was saying Steph Curry, how to move without the ball, getting shots up with KD. Like, he became a sponge to every single person that he was pretty worked with, all the greats. Which leads me to the next thing, which is networking and strategic partnerships. Always networking, always getting your name out there, always trying to find how you can help someone else and how that person can help you, how you guys can collab. Perfect example of this, I have a speaking engagement on Wednesday. On Wednesday, for the speaking engagement, what I'm doing is I'm going to actually, for the speaking engagement on Wednesday, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to actually go there, speak, but I'm not getting paid for this, speaking for free, but it's in the hopes of them putting me in there. They're actually putting me in their newsletter. They're going to, it's like a collaboration because it's a nonprofit. They're going to get me in front. I get some more content too as well. We get, my boy Eddie on the camera. I actually get to also network with the superintendent of like the Red Clay School District. Like, it's a lot of stuff that I can kind of set up just by going out there and speaking to the kids over in north side of Wilmington and the One Village thing. So I'm very excited about that too as well. The next thing I would say with dominating is being delusional. And then what I mean by being delusional, I mean being delusionally confident. Like, you should feel like you are the greatest at what you do. I always say I'm the greatest motivational speaker ever. I always say that because it's true. And I was actually using an example too as well when I was playing basketball. I was actually giving advice in my like a little mastermind group chat about this kid who was talking about how he's trying out for a basketball team. I was telling him, listen, always communicate when you're cutting, like on offense, communicate on defense, because when you're talking stuff like that, it brings energy, and then what it does is it makes you more confident for some reason, because you're constantly communicating and talking about what you're doing, right? Another thing too as well is no excuses. Don't bail yourself out. Don't bail yourself out by making excuses for it because of you being afraid to do something. That's why I got this tat on me right here. This new tattoo. No risk, no reward. Because it's true. You can't have no risk if you have no reward. You can't get no reward if you don't risk anything in life. So don't make excuses. Don't be afraid to take that next step. All right. So that's what I want you to think about today. When you're trying to dominate what your field is, I want you to think about what would you do right now to dominate? What are you going to do right now to dominate? Again, I want you guys to keep killing day. This is Loso 2.0, aka The Voice. Winners win, losers lose, and you pray for success like this. 2.0 out.